That day, while the birthday party was going on, I accidentally walked into the restroom area to wash my hands. I heard intimate whispers from a hidden corner. A bad premonition made me tiptoe closer, and then I was dumbfounded. My childhood boyfriend, whom I loved more than myself, and my best friend, who I considered family, were secretly talking to each other. The sweet tone and eyes they exchanged could not possibly be friendship. They had an affair behind my back, right on my birthday. I am Linda, a high school girl known by everyone for her great family background and beautiful appearance. People often call me Goddess at school, but behind that halo is a quiet girl who lives alone and rarely makes friends. Because of that personality, I was once misunderstood as arrogant, relying on family power and looking down on others. In my early days of high school, I had to endure endless bullying. They whispered behind my back, hid my things, and even pushed me into a hidden corner of the school to make fun of me. I was lonely, lost, until Lachi appeared. Lachi was the one who rushed in to rescue me when I was bullied after school. He was not afraid of danger, stood in front of me and chased the others away. I was very grateful. From then on, we became close friends. Lachi listened to me tell secrets that I had never shared with anyone, like the story about my boyfriend John, my childhood friend, the person I loved the most. I trusted Lachi so much that I took him home and introduced him to my parents. Seeing that I finally had a soulmate, my parents were very happy. They were always worried because I kept to myself too much, and Lachi seemed like a light in my life at that time. I was very excited as my 18th birthday approached. I imagined it would be the most wonderful day of my life, with my family, my boyfriend, and Lachi, the people I love the most. But I couldn't have imagined that, on that special day, my heart would break. And then, I was dumbfounded. John, my childhood boyfriend whom I loved more than myself, and Lachi, whom I considered family, were secretly talking to each other. John leaned down, whispering something in Lachi's ear, and he chuckled, clutching his hand. The sweet tone and eyes they exchanged could not possibly be friendship. They had an affair behind my back, right on my birthday. I stood there, feeling like the whole world had collapsed. My legs were shaking, but I couldn't scream, couldn't rush in to question them. I returned to the party, trying to suppress my pain, smiling wryly at my family. I cut the cake, received gifts, and even took pictures with John and Lachi as if nothing had happened. But an invisible wound has formed in my heart. When John hugged me in front of everyone and said, "Happy birthday, dear Linda," I just wanted to push him away as hard as I could. When Lachi kissed me on the cheek and said, "You're my best friend," I just wanted to slap him in the face. But I didn't do anything. I need to stay calm so no one gets suspicious. Things don't stop there. That night, as I lay in bed, I searched through my memories and discovered a more horrifying truth. The times I was bullied in the past were not coincidental. I recall one time Lachi accidentally told me that some people in class didn't like me because I was too arrogant. I remember his strange eyes when I cried about the bullying. Turns out, it was Lachi who arranged it all, only to then pretend to be the hero who saved me, making me trust and depend on him. Everything I thought was sincere was a lie. And when did John, whom I've loved since I was a kid, know about this? Is he involved in this cruel game? That night, when all the guests had left, I sat alone in my room, tears falling silently. I looked in the mirror and saw a strange Linda. Her eyes were red, her face was pale, but her gaze was strangely cold. I don't allow myself to fall. My heart may be broken, but my will is not. I secretly planned revenge. They betrayed me, turning my 18th birthday into a painful memory. Now, I will make them pay slowly, coldly, and without mercy. Update 1. I still pretended to be normal, as if nothing had happened, and secretly investigated and planned revenge. The next day, I went to school as usual. People still praise me, still whisper about my beauty and family background. But this time, I no longer avoided their eyes. I held my head high and walked with a coldness that I didn't even recognize. Lachi stood at the school gate, waving to me. "Linda, yesterday was really fun, wasn't it? Your birthday was so grand," he said, his voice as sweet as honey. I smiled back, but inside I just wanted to tear off that mask. "Yes, thank you," I replied. my voice gentle but cold as ice. John texted me during his lunch break. I was busy yesterday, so I didn't stay long. Don't be angry. Love you. I read it and felt nauseous. Does he think I'm so stupid that I don't realize it? I texted back. It's okay. I understand. I love you too. I need them to believe that I'm still as naive as before. I began to observe them more closely. I pretended to be busy with schoolwork to refuse going out with John and Lachi. I said I needed to focus on the exam, and they both seemed understanding. But I know they are taking advantage of that time to meet each other. One afternoon, I deliberately went through the park near school, where John had said he liked to jog. I saw them sitting on the bench, hand in hand, laughing and chatting happily. Lachi rested his head on John's shoulder, and he stroked his hair, his eyes gentle like the way he used to look at me. I stood far away, hiding behind a tree, my hands clenched so tightly that my nails dug into my skin. I took a picture of that scene, then quietly left. That photo will be evidence, but it's not the time to use it yet. I searched through old messages between me and Lachi, between me and John. I noticed the times they used the same excuses to avoid meeting me. I have to help my mother with something, Lachi once said. I'm busy at home. I can't see you tonight, John also texted. Turns out those were the times they were together. I also asked about a few classmates who bullied me. One girl, after being pressured by me, confessed that Lachi once told them to teach me a lesson so that I could know my destiny. Does John know? I'm not sure. But even though he was innocent of the bullying, the fact that he betrayed me with Lachi was enough for me to not forgive. My plan gradually took shape. I don't want to make a fuss, cry, or get jealous in front of them. I want them to fall into a trap they can't escape from. With John, I decided to break up, but not right away. I started texting him more, showing more interest. I asked him about the future, suggesting we travel together after graduation. Where do you want to go most? I asked, my voice sweet. John excitedly replied, let's go to the beach, just the two of us. I smiled as I read the message, but in my heart, I only thought of the day he realized it was all over. With Lachi, I also have my own way. I pretended to be closer, invited him shopping, and confided like before. One time, I intentionally let Lachi see me holding the ring John once gave me. John told me this looked nice on, but it felt a little tight, I said, watching his reaction. Lachi smiled wryly and told me to keep wearing it because John likes it. I knew he was upset but didn't dare say anything. I wanted to sow doubt in Lachi's heart, make him wonder if John still loved me. I also contacted a few of John's old friends who had long disliked Lachi. I told them a few accidental stories, like how John and Lachi often went together without inviting anyone. I know rumors will spread quickly, and sooner or later John and Lachi will quarrel. I want them to destroy each other before I take action. I sat down and wrote a detailed plan in a small notebook. I plotted the relationships between John, Lachi, and the people around them. I note their weaknesses. John is afraid of losing reputation. Lachi is afraid of being isolated. I listed each step, making John think I still loved him, making Lachi jealous of John, then planting the proof when they were at their weakest. I am no longer the weak, withdrawn Linda. They awakened a part of me that I didn't know existed, a cold, determined Linda who was willing to do anything to get justice. I know this road will be full of challenges. Maybe I will be hurt more. Maybe I will lose many things. But I don't care. They turned my 18th birthday into a nightmare, and now I'm going to make their lives hell. I smiled, closed the notebook, and whispered to myself, let's wait and see, John. Just wait and see, Lachi. The game has just begun. Update 2. I started to create conflict between the two haha. I wonder how this story will end. I start with John. I text him more often, but not simple love messages. I intentionally reveal a little mystery, a little distance. One day I texted, I dreamed about you yesterday, but in the dream you were with someone. How strange. John immediately replied, what are you thinking? I'm the only one. I smiled faintly when I read that message. He still thinks I'm the naive girl I used to be. I didn't respond, leaving John to guess. I want him to start worrying, start doubting himself. With Lachi, I used a different approach. While having coffee with him, I deliberately mentioned John in a sweet way. John said he'll take me to the movies next week. He spoils me a lot, I said, observing every little change on Lachi's face. He smiled wryly, his hand clenched the glass of water, but still replied, "Is that so? It's really good for you." I know Lachi is jealous. He couldn't bear the thought of John still having feelings for me. The seed of doubt had been planted, and I just had to wait for it to germinate. I knew John and Lachi often met at the park near school, so I decided to take advantage of that. I asked a close friend of John's, a straight guy who didn't like Lachi, to accidentally pass by the park during their usual date time. I sent Jack the photo I took of John and Lachi the day before, along with the message, "I don't know what's going on, but I feel sad. Can you ask John to help me?" Jack is not someone who likes to keep secrets, and as I expected, he texted John directly, "What's up with you and Lachi? Linda knows everything." John panicked. He called me right after that, his voice shaking. "Linda, did you hear what someone said? Is there any misunderstanding? Lachi and I are just friends." I pretended to be innocent and replied, "What misunderstanding? I don't understand what you're saying. Jack just told me to ask you." John was silent for a moment, then quickly hung up. I knew he would find Lachi to ask questions, and that was exactly what I wanted. Sure enough, the next day at school, I heard a rumor that John and Lachi had gotten into a big fight at the park. Several friends recalled that John shouted at Lachi, "What did you say to Jack? Do you want to ruin everything?" Lachi responded harshly, "I broke it? You're the one being unclear. You say you love Linda, but you're here with me." They argued in front of many people and rumors spread like a storm. I stood from afar, watching Lachi walk away blushing and John's anger. Update 3, the end for cheaters. I waited for the school's end-of-year prom, a big event that both John and Lachi attended. I knew this was the perfect opportunity to end it all. Before that, I prepared a short video. I took the photo of John and Lachi at the park, added a few text messages between me and John, and between me and Lachi, messages that I intentionally kept as evidence. I even recorded a short call with John when he accidentally admitted, "I only met Lachi a few times." Nothing. I edited it all into a complete video, not too long, but enough to expose the truth. On prom night, when everyone was happily dancing, I asked a friend in the organizing committee to play the video on the big screen. The entire auditorium was silent when the image of John and Lachi appeared, accompanied by John's voice echoing, "I've only met Lachi a few times." Whispers began to rise. I stood in the corner of the room, arms crossed, watching John and Lachi stand dumbfounded in the crowd. John turned to me, his face pale. "Linda, what are you doing?" "Why are you doing this?" Lachi shouted. "Are you crazy, Linda? Do you want to destroy me?" I walked forward, looked straight into their eyes. My voice was calm but sharp. "No, I just want you to see the consequences of betraying me. It's my 18th birthday, do you remember? I will never forget." The whole school turned around, pointing and whispering. John tried to explain to everyone, but no one believed him anymore. Lachi rushed out of the auditorium, tears streaming down his face, but no one ran after him. I turned and walked away, leaving them to their self-inflicted demise. John came to my house. He stood in front of the gate, his hair messy, his eyes dark. "Linda, I'm sorry. I didn't know things would go this far. I love you. I really do. Lachi was just a moment of weakness." I looked at him through the iron gate, without opening the door. "Love me? You love me and you're whispering to Lachi on my birthday? Stop fooling yourself, John." I turned back into the house, ignoring John pounding on the door calling my name. After that, I heard that he dropped out of school for a while and avoided everyone because he was embarrassed. Lachi is different. He texted me constantly, sometimes apologizing, sometimes threatening. "Linda, I was wrong. Please forgive me." Then switched to, "You will regret doing this to me." I don't answer. Lachi was gradually shunned by his friends because no one wanted to be involved with a two-faced person. I heard he transferred schools, but no one knows where he went. Maybe Lachi couldn't stand everyone's eyes after all. I stood on the school's rooftop, looking down at the yard where so many things had happened. I am no longer the closed, weak Linda I used to be. I have learned how to protect myself, how to stand up after injuries. John and Lachi have disappeared from my life, leaving behind valuable lessons. I'm not happy that I took revenge on them. Revenge doesn't bring happiness, I realize that. But I'm satisfied because I'm no longer a victim. My parents finally found out through rumors. They hugged me tightly, saying they were proud that I was strong enough to overcome it. I smiled, for the first time in months, a real smile. I opened the planner, tore out the pages, and threw them into the wind. I don't need it anymore. My life is now a new page, and I will write it my own way. No more John, no more Lachi, just Linda, stronger than ever.